Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Charlie. On today's episode, I'm going to be showing you how to make my delicious homemade biscuits and gravy from scratch. Now, this is a classic Southern breakfast dish. It consists of buttery and salt buttermilk biscuits, and it is topped with a flavorful sausage bacon gravy, which is thickened with a blonde roux. This recipe makes about 8 biscuits along with the sausage and bacon gravy, of course. It's a comforting Southern breakfast dish, absolutely delicious. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, here's all you'll need to make your homemade biscuits and gravy. Let's get started with our ingredients. You will need some all-purpose flour, baking powder, baking soda, salted butter cold, whole milk, buttermilk cold, 1 pound of sausage or any other type of sausage of your choosing. You will also need some bacon, and for your seasonings, you will need some salt, black pepper, granulated onion, granulated garlic, and for your tools, you can use an ice cream scoop or a makeshift biscuit cutter. I made my own here, and this is about 3.5 inches in diameter. And for the rest of your tools, you'll need a food processor, and to bake your biscuits, you will need an 11 by 17 inch baking pan. And there we have it.
Alright, let's get straight to it. We're going to get started with making our biscuits. So in this food processor, you can also use a pastry cutter as well. Add 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 1/2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I'm going to pulse this 4 times just to get it all combined together. Add 1 1/2 sticks, that's 12 tablespoons of salted butter. Make sure that the butter is cold and cubed. Pulse this about 10 to 12 times or until the butter is cut into the flour. Looks good. I'm going to transfer the flour and butter mixture from the food processor into this large bowl. Add 1 cup of buttermilk. Make sure your buttermilk is cold. Take a sturdy spoon and stir all your ingredients together until the dough starts to come together. And there we go, our dough has come together and it is sticky, so that is normal. Lightly flour the surface of your table. Add the biscuit dough on top of the table. Coat your hands with some flour and press the dough down. Form the dough into a 10-inch long by 5-inch wide rectangle. The dough should also be 1 inch thick. Here I have my homemade biscuit cutter, and this is about 3 1/2 inches in diameter. And from there, I'm going to cut out the dough. And as you can see, that's a nice size and thickness right there. I'm going to set that on the side. I'm going to cut out another one. This is how it looks here. Set that on the side. And as you can see, I can't cut any more dough, so the excess dough, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring that dough together by using the flour from the surface of the table. I'm going to press the dough down, forming a small rectangle. Just make sure that the dough has a thickness of 1 inch. I'm going to take my homemade biscuit cutter and cut out some more pieces of dough. And as you can see, I have a little bit left over. I'm just going to place my biscuit cut on top of the table and add the dough right on in there, whatever I have left. And there we go, it all worked out. And once done, you should have 8 pieces of biscuit dough all together. Now I'm gonna go ahead and preheat my oven to 425 degrees. Here I have an 11 by 17 inch baking pan. I'm going to take some salted butter and I'm going to spread the butter around the baking pan. I'm going to take my biscuit dough pieces and carefully add them onto the baking pan. Make sure that they're nice and even and spread out throughout the pan so that way they won't touch during the baking process. Now they are ready to be baked. Place this into a preheated 425-degree oven on the middle rack. Bake for 15 to 17 minutes. Okay, it's been about 15 to 17 minutes now for our biscuits. Let's remove this out of the oven. Here I have 2 tablespoons of melted salted butter and a pastry brush. Generously brush each biscuit off with the melted butter. Let these cool for 10 to 15 minutes before serving. Here I have 3 strips of bacon on this chopping board. Take a knife and cut the bacon into small bite-sized pieces. And from there we're going to add that into the serving bowl with our sausage. And for the sausage, we're only using 10 ounces of this, not the whole 16-ounce package. Preheat your fire to medium heat. Okay, let's get started with searing our sausage and our bacon. So in this large saucepan, I let it get hot for 2 minutes. Here I have 10 ounces in weight of the pork sausage, and over here I have the 3 strips of bacon that we chopped. Add that into the saucepan. Give this a quick stir. Let this saute for 8 minutes, stirring occasionally. Alright, it's been about 8 minutes now. Nice golden brown. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn my fire off. Let this cool for 10 minutes. Here I have a mesh strainer with a small bowl underneath it. Add the cooked sausage and bacon into the mesh strainer. Shake the strainer to let the pan juices drip into the bowl. And stir this as well. Let this sit in here for about 3 to 4 minutes, stirring occasionally. And here is the pan drippings. And once done, you should have 3 tablespoons of pan drippings left over. Preheat your fire to medium heat. Alright, let's get started with making our bacon and sausage gravy. So in this large saucepan, I let it get hot for about 1 to 2 minutes. Add 3 tablespoons of our pan drippings. I'm going to spread this around. Let this get hot for 30 seconds. And to that, I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. I'm going to take a wooden spatula and stir this continuously for 30 seconds. Add 2 cups of whole milk. Let's add some seasoning. Add 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, a 1/2 teaspoon of granulated onion, and a 1/2 teaspoon of granulated garlic. Stir all your ingredients together. Let this simmer for 3 to 4 minutes, stirring occasionally. It's been about 3 to 4 minutes now. As you can see, our gravy has thickened, exactly what we want. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn my fire off. Add your sauteed bacon and sausage. Stir all your ingredients together. And from there, your bacon and sausage gravy is now done. Let this cool for 15 minutes before serving. For some quick tips, the gravy will thicken as it cools. If it gets too thick, you can just reheat it on the stove on medium-low heat for about 3 to 4 minutes, and that'll thin it out. And for best results, you can serve this the very next day so that way the flavors can settle and increase overnight. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Southern style biscuits and gravy, made by a New Orleans native. You can find this recipe along with all of my other recipes go to www.charliethecookandrews.com. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, and on Twitter under the name Charlie the Cook Andrews. Stay tuned as Charlie's taste test is coming up next. Can't wait.
Now I'm gonna go ahead and try this. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness, y'all. We talk about flavorful, comforting. The biscuits are soft, buttery, and that gravy has a wonderful sausage and bacon flavor. Got a little kick to it from that black pepper. Well seasoned as well. Y'all, absolutely comforting and delicious. So, give it a try. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, have a good one. Peace.